Hi, welcome back to Intentional Life Therapy. I'm Jere'Webber. This week, I said last week we would talk about filters, but I'm going to postpone that a little bit longer because I had this idea come to me. This is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I've had a patient ask me before in group. They asked me, how do I respond to someone who asks me how I'm doing, but really I'm depressed or I have anxiety and I just don't want to talk about it? How do I answer that question? How are you doing? So here's what I have to say about that. Sometimes people ask, hey, how are you doing? It just comes out of their mouth before they really know what they're saying. It's just a way of greeting, almost like a hello. It just comes right after the hello, how are you doing? So it's an innocent enough question, but I do respect the fact that this person wanted to maintain integrity within themselves while answering the question. And I'm kind of like that too. I'm a very honest, direct person. And so I don't like giving side answers or roundabout answers. If you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it honestly. But when you're feeling depressed or anxious or just unstable, unsure of yourself, you don't really want to say that to whoever asks you, how are you doing? Because you know that's not really what they're in for. And there may be times when your heart is yearning to say, oh, I can tell somebody. But you need to have good boundaries around that and know you choose the person that you disclose to. And you do it in a setting that is conducive to disclosure. So you don't just pour out your heart there in the middle of the street when just somebody that you ran into says, hey, how are you doing? And then you just start this long kind of diarrhea of the mouth. You pick the person that you want to disclose to and let them know how you're feeling. You have control over that. So you don't have to answer the question, how are you doing, with a long discourse on how awful your life is right now or how bad you're feeling. Something that you can do and still maintain integrity within yourself, meaning your beliefs and your words match, and that matches up to your action. So that's integrity. Through a way to answer that question is to say, you know what, I'm really struggling right now. I don't want to talk about it, but thank you for asking. I know that you mean well, and I just appreciate you reaching out to me. It really means a lot. Then that person feels good knowing that they have reached out and knowing that they just said, hey, how are you doing? And you gave them an honest answer. I'm struggling right now. I don't really want to talk about it, but thank you. Thank you for reaching out to me. I appreciate that. So you maintain integrity within the situation. That way you feel like you have control over who you disclose to and who you don't. And just because somebody asked you how you're doing does not mean you have to go into a long story about how you're feeling. That's vulnerability right there, right? You choose. You choose who you're going to be vulnerable to. And when you are vulnerable with someone, you want to make sure they're a safe person. You want to make sure that they're going to hold you in their hands just like this. And they're not going to squish you. They're not going to try to change you or give you advice to death. They're not going to talk about you behind your back. They're not going to fill you full of fear. They're just going to hold you right here in their hands. And if you just need to talk, they're going to listen. And if you say, hey, I really could use a hug, they're going to hug you. Or if you're like, I could use some advice here, then they'll give you their advice. Whether it's good or bad, you take it or not. But they're just going to hold you. And most importantly, a safe person knows when to get help if you need it. So a lot of times when we are in denial about how distressed we really are, a safe person will recognize warning signs and they will get you the help that you need, whether it's through a therapist or maybe somebody who has a little bit more experience than they do, maybe another adult, a leader, a church member, a family member. They're just going to get you to somebody who can help. And that is what a safe person is. So remember, if somebody asks you how you're doing and you're feeling awful, you don't have to disclose that to them just because they asked. You can say, I'm struggling right now, but thank you for asking. I appreciate it. I really do. And you don't have to say, I'm going to be fine. You don't have to say any of that, because you know right in that moment you don't feel fine and you don't know if it's going to be fine. But you can be honest and say, I'm struggling right now. I don't want to talk about it, but thank you for asking. I really appreciate it. Makes me feel good, makes me feel loved. So you're validating them and you're being honest with yourself. Above all, be honest with yourself. Internal integrity breeds self-sufficiency. That may not be the right word. It breeds self-confidence. You're secure in yourself, meaning you're safe. You know that what you say and what you think match up, and you feel good about your decisions, and you can make decisions from a safe place. That's important. That is important for your mental well-being. So here's your Happy Friday message. I hope you feel well. And I hope that you will please comment below. This is a great topic. So if you've had somebody ask you, hey, how are you doing when you feel bad? Talk about how you responded and how it made you feel. And let me know about anything else that you want to hear about. Take care. Have a great and a very safe weekend. Bye-bye.